RadioNow 100.9's Indy Connection with Emily Metheny.
Hello, I'm Emily Metheny, your host. This week, I had the opportunity to talk with Shanna Young, the Scholarship Officer for the Central Indiana Community Foundation. With more than 50 scholarships available, high school students, adult learners, and more have the opportunity to receive help covering the cost of education. And the type of schooling can vary as well as the requirements for the scholarships. Kathy Downey is a board member and volunteer for the Mexican Scholarship Fund, one of the available scholarships from CICF. Before we talk with Kathy about the specifics of the Mexican Scholarship Fund, Shanna is going to give us some background information on the Community Foundation.
So what is the Central Indiana Community Foundation?
It's the community foundation that services the Central Indiana community, including Indianapolis and Marion County. And we like to say we do three things. One, give donors the ability to achieve their philanthropic goals, award grants to effective nonprofit organizations, and provide leadership to the community to be a better, more equitable place for folks to live.
Excellent. And it does service that Central Indiana area then. So it's like Hamilton County, Marion County.
And the surrounding donut counties as well, yes.
Perfect. And you are the scholarship officer with CICF.
Yes.
So what is your role? What do you do?
My role is to, in line with our new mission and vision of mobilizing people, ideas, and investments, to make this a community where all individuals have equitable opportunity to reach their full potential, no matter their place, race, or identity. I do that through scholarships and educational opportunities.
Excellent. And the scholarship season is open right now, right?
Yes, we are excited. We are now accepting applications for over 50 of our scholarship funds. Those applications can go in anytime between now and February 5th for individuals to kind of go onto our website, match themselves by answering some pretty basic questions, and then the system will match you to opportunities based on how you answer questions.
And it's not limited just to high schoolers. It's everyone, right?
No, we did some amazing things this year by realigning our program. So if anybody interested wants to go to CICF.org and click on the scholarships tab at the top, there's a whole list of things that we offer. Our guidebook is designed for people to see themselves based on where they're trying to go in education versus trying to figure out who they are. So you're not looking for yourself based on a grade level or who you are as an individual. So we are catering to traditional high school students, adult learners, non-traditional learners, and folks in underrepresented populations.
Excellent. And with the scholarship opportunities, since it is so diverse, how do those guidelines get set?
So we basically take a number of things. So all the rules and regulations that kind of fit out there in college and university world, we take those things, we take the ideas and wishes of our donors based on the type of students or individuals they want to support. And then we take our mission into play as well, and we create scholarship opportunities for individuals to apply for. An example, if you have traditional high school students, they can see themselves. If you have adult learners that have been out of high school and are choosing to go back, they can see themselves. We've streamlined our application and made it very user-friendly so that there's some specific questions that are not intimidating and people can just answer them and move right through the process.
And is the application done all online?
Yes, it is an all online process that you can start and stop. You do need a good email and access to a computer or some sort of smart device. The guidebook, and there's a one-pager on our website that we have available in English, Spanish, and Burmese to kind of outline the quick 7 steps that you need to take to submit a complete application.
And for people who are just looking into this, can you list off a couple things that they do need to have?
Virtually a good email, some basic contact information, so their name, address, a good working phone number, transcripts from their high school or the last school that they attended if they've already enrolled at some post-secondary school. And the ability to answer some pretty basic essay questions about their dreams and their aspirations.
Excellent. And since you can start and stop this, and they have until February 5th, correct, to submit everything?
Yes.
Perfect. If someone wants, can people look at the different available scholarships, or is it all done on the back end?
So the guidebook is a good place. It's on our website. It can be downloaded as a PDF. You can read it online. It details out every scholarship, and the guidebook is designed based on the type of school you want to go to. So there's a section for any type of school, vocational, technical, and trade schools, universities, and colleges. So they can kind of flip through and see what opportunities are available with some specific descriptions for each scholarship we offer.
Excellent. So with the Lilly Endowed Community Scholarship, how does that process differ from CICF's?
So the only difference in that process is that every accredited high school in the counties in Indiana get to nominate 2 students from their high schools. So for us at Central Indiana Community Foundation, every high school accredited high school in Marion County, in Hamilton County, they do an individual application process, and then they submit to us 2 names, but virtually the actual application process and required information is exactly the same.
Excellent. And has that process moved to the spring?
That process is kind of going on now. So it's one of the first scholarships that we administer as a community foundation, with that process starting usually sometime in the summer and usually wraps up around now. So we're still waiting to hear back from the endowment and from ICI about decisions, and then we'll be changing some lives later this month.
Excellent. And when will people find out if they've won the scholarships?
For the endowment or just any that we offer?
For the CICF specifically.
So we accept applications until February 5th. We go through review and selection process through the spring. We generally try to make notifications out to everyone sometime between May and June.
Excellent. And that's where it's important to have your phone number and your contact information up to date.
Yes, all notifications about scholarships and communication happen online, just so that we all have records of what needs to happen and what decisions were made.
Perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in Kathy Downey, who is with the Mexican Scholarship Fund. She is a board member and volunteer. So, Kathy, can you tell us a little bit about the history of the Mexican Scholarship Fund?
Absolutely, happy to. So this scholarship was created in 2004. It was created by the former Consul of Mexico. His name is Sergio Aguilera. And he really saw a need based on the work that he had done at the consulate and in the community to promote and encourage students of Mexican descent to pursue higher education. And so he started this fund as a way to incentivize and to support those young people who are trying to achieve their post-secondary education dreams.
Excellent. And is this for a 4-year degree, 2-year degree? What all does it apply to?
No, absolutely. So the Mexican Scholarship Fund awards a minimum of $2,000 per year up to 4 years. So young people, applicants who are interested in seeking that scholarship can apply, whether they're traditional high school students, as Shanna was talking about, or if they're already enrolled in post-secondary education. But they're, depending on how much longer they have in their schooling, they're eligible for $2,000 a year up to those 4 years. So there's a potential for $8,000.
Oh, that's awesome. And kind of going back to what Shanna was talking about, you apply through the CICF and through that one online application.
That's right. So the Mexican Scholarship Fund is one of those over 50 opportunities that Shanna talked about. And the great relationship that the Mexican Scholarship Funds has with CICF allows almost 100% of everything that's raised for Mexican Scholarship Fund to go directly to scholarships. So we are an all-volunteer board of 9 community members, educators, attorneys, folks from the Mexican and from the Latino community. And with the support of CICF, we're able to accept these applications with a basic application form that's streamlined, and they do all the hard work, and we get the fun stuff of reviewing the applications and reading the wonderful essays that students write to let us know about themselves and why they deserve the scholarship.
And that actually leads into the next part, what the benefits of partnering, would you say partnering with CICF as funds?
Absolutely. MSF is a great partner to have. we balance the workload and the process. So I run the administrative portion, so maintaining the application, and then Kathy and company, her team, we get together after they review and they go through a rigorous selection process. I think they do an excellent job.
And from the Mexican Scholarship Fund perspective, it allows us to focus our efforts on the students, the young people who are applying and making those final decisions. Again, it allows those monies that are raised to go directly to scholarships. For anybody who's interested in starting some sort of fund or supporting young people in this way, being able to partner with someone like CICF allows you to do it in a more strategic manner and leverage the impact that you want to make in the community.
Excellent. And if someone wants to give to the Mexican Scholarship Fund or to one of the other funds, how can they do that?
They can reach out to us on our website, or they can contact myself. Kathy, I hate to put you on the spot, but they can reach out to Kathy to get the donations into our office to go directly into the fund.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's a really great question, Emily. Again, the monies that are raised through the volunteer board are going directly to scholarships. Right now, most of the monies that we raise are done so by corporate partners or grant makers, philanthropic institutions, but we're really looking to grow support from individuals. The community, the Latino Mexican community benefits from this, and we're hoping to really get more individuals within those communities to invest in these dollars. And, when I'm investing $50 towards a scholarship, it doesn't sound like a whole lot. But when I can give it to Mexican Scholarship Fund through CICF, I'm able, again, to leverage all the other dollars that are being raised to really make an impact in my community.
Excellent. And then, Shanna, could you give a couple more examples outside of the Mexican Scholarship Fund that are funds that people can apply to?
So, outside of the Mexican Scholarship Fund, we have funds that are specific to a number of things: where you live, county specific, where you attend high school, what you plan on majoring. So we have a nursing scholarship that you can find in the guidebook. There is a specific scholarship for Butler. We have scholarships for individuals interested in being teachers or attending IU or Kelly Business School. So the guidebook is definitely the place to start for people to kind of peruse and see what we offer. After they create a profile or an account on our website, those opportunities change sometimes daily. So depending on how our teams are creating new funds, new opportunities will show up for individuals. So we keep our website and the guidebook up to date. So that's going to be the best place for anybody interested in what we offer to find information.
Excellent. And if someone in the Central Indiana area wants to start a scholarship fund, what is the best way to do that?
Generally, I would say sending us an email or calling our office, and we'll get you connected to myself or someone on our development team that can walk you through the steps and give you all the information required to start a fund or to give to an existing fund.
Excellent. Is there anything either of you want to add about scholarships?
I would just say that the wonderful thing about the guidebook and CICF is that it really does offer kind of a one place for folks who are interested in seeking scholarships. There's so many different resources, right? And it can feel really overwhelming to do all that research. This provides you at least one location where you can find many different opportunities, and depending where you're interested in, you can fit into several with one application that then has maybe different portions depending on the scholarship. So it makes it really convenient for young people and non-traditional learners who are hoping to get those dollars. And then I would simply just add the importance of continuing to support these scholarships that are making a big difference in the lives of learners.
Excellent. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
The only thing I would add is that we have set up a program so that every individual, every student in our community can see themselves getting access to quality education through our scholarship program. I want to just stress and emphasize that CICF scholarship program is designed for current or future students to pursue credentials from vocational, technical, trade, 2-year, 4-year, or graduate institutions, or any institution that offers credentials.
If you're interested in learning more about the Community Foundation, scholarships, or applying, visit CICF.org. Sergeant John Perrine is the Public Information Officer for the Indianapolis District of the Indiana State Police. As a PIO, Sergeant Perrine does everything news, media, and public relations related. So he talks to school kids, and he also talks on shows like mine. We had him stop by to talk a little bit about some traveling and winter safety since the holidays are coming up.
How does the Indiana State Police work with the IMPD and the Marion County Sheriff's Department, and how does it differ?
Here in central Indiana, we're real fortunate with a lot of great police departments and a lot of great people, and we all have the common goal, and that's to provide a service and increase the safety in our communities. Where the state police come in is in central Indiana, we pretty much cover the interstates. We cover anything that happens on the metro interstates, 465, 65, 70, 74, crashes and investigations. Outside of that, we also assist other agencies with whatever they need. If they need manpower, we can provide that. We also have things like helicopters and air support. We have SWAT teams. We have canine teams. So we provide those services to a lot of the local agencies as well. But again, nobody has any different police power or anything like that. We all have the same police powers. It's just a little bit different responsibilities.
And going into working on the interstates, winter is here.
Yes.
We unfortunately know that now. What are some safety tips and tricks people need to be aware of going into this winter?
Well, the first thing that some people find interesting is that the road conditions, snow on the road, for instance, is never the cause of a crash. So you'll never see a crash report that says snow caused this crash. The crash is caused by somebody's driving behavior. So it's important for people to know that because the road is hazardous, the road is slick, you can't just write that off and say, hey, that's the road's fault that I crashed. No, it's not. It's your fault. And so people need to slow down. That is the key. We get in a hurry, we get in these routines where we want to leave our house at the same time and get to work at the same time. But if there's snow or ice on the road, that just doesn't happen. So you have to leave earlier. Increase that following distance. Not only is that increasing your ability to stop if something happens in front of you, but it also gives you more time to see things that are coming, more visibility, so that you can better react for any potential hazard that's happening. And then, of course, clearing all the snow and ice from all of your windows. Don't just drive through a porthole. We want to make sure that you can see all around you. And also remember your headlights and your taillights, clearing those off as well.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything road-wise they need to avoid specifically? Is there any... Because like in the summer, it's like, well, if the water's too high, you don't drive.
Sure, of course. Well, of course, you would never want to drive into what looks like deep snow. If you find yourself in a rural area where there's a lot of snow maybe, and you can't tell, then don't drive into it. You don't want to get stuck because, of course, if you're stuck, it may take a long time for somebody to get there to you. But also, depending on your driving skill, different driving experience, different vehicles, four-wheel drive vehicles obviously can go through deeper snow. But don't get so reliant on that four-wheel drive that you think that, I can drive as fast as I want, because four-wheel drive doesn't help you stop. And most crashes come when somebody's trying to stop. And so, again, if your driving skill isn't to par where you can drive on the interstate on the snow, then maybe plan on taking the side streets or a different way in. Because once you get on that interstate, it's a little less forgiving, there's more traffic, and the traffic's moving a little faster.
And let's say someone does slide off the road. Who's the best person to call?
Well, first and foremost, call 911. It's acceptable to call 911 to get some help. We can either send a police officer or send a tow truck or whatever you need. We have those resources. Also, stay in your vehicle. One of the most logical things would seem is step outside, see if you can push yourself out, get yourself unstuck, or just wait outside your vehicle. But that's just not safe. If you slid off in that area, there's a good chance another vehicle is coming along to slide as well. So stay in your car with your seatbelt on and wait for that help to arrive. Also, if you see somebody stuck in the ditch, I know that people are helpful and they want to stop and help, but it may not be the safest thing, especially on the interstate, to stop on the side of the road on a slick, hazardous highway trying to push somebody out of a ditch. Let the professionals get there, the roadside service, the tow trucks, whatever you need to help with that.
I'm from up north where we're always told to make sure we are always prepared.
Yeah.
What should people have in their vehicles?
Oh, yeah, great question. So there's a lot of things that you can do now that's going to prepare you for the entire winter, and that is obviously blankets and all the things that our grandmas and moms told us to put in our cars when we were younger. Those things really have a lot of purpose, but extra blankets, coats, mittens, hats, things like that, some water. And some people say, well, the water's going to freeze. It doesn't make sense. Well, you know what? If it's all you have and you can melt a little bit at a time if you're stranded. There was an instance a couple years ago where we had an ice storm, and a lot of people were stranded for 9 or 10 hours in their car. And so be prepared for that. Also, check now to make sure that your spare tire has air. Make sure that you have the tools in your car to change that spare tire, because so many times people get stranded with a flat tire and we put the spare tire on and then the spare's flat, or they don't have their jack or their lug wrench. So make sure you have all that stuff. You know, jumper cables are good things to keep in your car. Those hot hand things that you can shake up and make your hands warm, you know, because if you're stranded for 8 or 9 hours, which is a possibility, your car could run out of gas. And so you got to have something to keep yourself warm. Obviously, cell phone chargers and things like that are a good idea as well.
I know you're active on social media.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what you post on Twitter, for example?
You know, I try to use the platform to get a message out. And what I found works, and I'm not the inventor of this, I follow public safety police officers and firefighters from across the country, is if you can add a little humor, if you can relate to the person who's reading it, they're more likely to get your message. And so, you know, I come up with the hashtag that I use every winter is don't drive like a knucklehead. Kind of the nicest way that I can put don't drive like a knucklehead, you know. There are some other words that could be substituted, but it kind of gets the point across. And we say the same things every year. Just getting creative with how we say those things, kind of get those ideas to stick in people's heads so that they can remember them, you know, and that's what's important. You know, years ago, I had some success with a turn signal video. So people remember to use their turn signal when they think about me. And so, you know what I would say, then it's a successful post.
Before someone heads out, where should they be checking the weather and the road conditions?
You know, Indiana Department of Transportation has a really great TrafficWise website. It has live maps that tell you the traffic, the road conditions, anywhere in the state of Indiana. And so, real valuable resource online. What we don't want people to do is call into the police department. We don't want them calling our dispatch center asking road conditions or asking construction. Our dispatchers are tied up with emergencies, and there's other resources out there for them to find that information.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you'd like to add about winter driving safety, driving in general? You know,
as we're coming into these winter months, just keep in mind, every single time you leave your house, there's a potential for coming across hazardous roads. You may be a great driver with a very capable vehicle, but also have a little courtesy for those other drivers, because that car that you're tailgating trying to push out of your way could be a 16 or 17-year-old driver driving for the first time on snow. It could be an elderly person. It could be somebody who's dealing with other things. So be patient with everybody. Be kind. Allow people to merge. Use your turn signal. Just the list could go on. Just be a courteous and kind driver.
If you haven't checked out Sergeant Perrine's Twitter, you can find him at ISP Indianapolis. That's Indiana State Police, Indianapolis. ISP Indianapolis. You can see the turn signal video he mentioned and keep up to date with more travel safety tips and see what the state police are doing in our area. Thank you for listening, and please join me again next week. If you have any questions or comments, please email me at emetheny, that's EMETHENY, at radio-1.com. Until then, have a great week.
Radio Now 100.9's Indy Connection with Emily Metheny.